All right, hello, hello. We're gonna work on day 2 of review for the Tri-2 final. Today's lesson or review is all about graphing. We need to be able to graph and feel confident with our graphing skills going into the final. So I'm gonna graph a system, and then you'll try it. We'll go through the answer, and then same thing again. And then the rest is just a bit of practice for you to do. And then there is a fluency act as well. So if you feel like you need practice with this regular graphing, do that first. If you feel like this is too hard, as we're going through it. Okay, so the first one, and then I want you to remember when we're graphing the system, if I ask you to solve by graphing, we're looking for the point where they cross, and that's our solution. We're looking for the point where both of my lines are at the same exact spot at the same time. So we're going to graph the first line. We're starting here at -7. Remember, without the x's or y-intercept, where our line crosses this y-axis, that's where we start. And my slope is 1/5. Remember, slope is rise over run. So this is how much I rise, and this is how much I run. So I'm going to go up 1 over 5. And then I'm going to make another point as well. With these problems, we want to make as many points as we can because we don't know where the lines are going to cross. So plotting all of those points makes it super clear where they will cross. Okay, next one. So we have -1 is our y-intercept. So again, same thing, that is our starting point. So on the y-axis, we start at -1. And then my slope here is negative nothing. There's no number there. What I want us to remember is that, well, if I gave you 2x and I said, well, how many x's is that? We would say 2 x's. So here, if I just give you an x, how many x's is that? Well, that's 1 x. So there's a 1 in front of that x that we don't see. So the slope here, maybe I'll just, is -1. And when we have a whole number, it just means you're going up or down this many and then over 1. So -1, which means instead of going up like I did for +1, I'm going to go down 1 and then over 1. So again, when we have a fraction, we can see this is how much I go up or down. If it's negative like this 1/2 over here, we go down 1. And then we move to the right 5, over here we move to the right 2. When we have a 1 for our slope, we go up or down 1, depending on if it's negative or positive, and then over 1. If your slope was just 2 and not a fraction, it would go up 2 over 1. Alright, so I'm going to plot as many points as we can here. And we can see it, they overlap right down there. And then it's the point 5, -6. Our x value first, 5, and then our y value, -6. Okay. So again, when we have a fraction, that tells us how many up. If it's negative, it tells us how many down. And then the number on the bottom tells us how many to the right we go. When there is nothing in front of our x, that's a slope of 1. And you would go up 1 over 1. Here, it was a -1. We went down 1 over 1. Alright, I want you to go ahead and try this one. Pause me, get it graphed, and then come back when you're ready. Okay, let's take a peek. So, starting at -2, and then again, this is 1x, so my slope is 1. So I'm going to go up 1 over 1. Again, I'm going to make a ton of points here because I don't know where my lines are going to cross. I'm going to just follow that diagonal backwards. Okay. And then now the next one. If you got that first one wrong and you're thinking you got the second one wrong, try again. So it's -5, that's our starting. And then -1/2. So again, usually it told me rise over run, so how many up and then how many to the right. Because it's negative, it's how many down and then to the right. So we're going to go down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. And you can see we're moving away from the graph, so we need to go back this way to find where they cross. So I'm going to follow this pattern backwards. This was 2 boxes and down, so I'm going to go 2 boxes and up. And we can see right where they cross. Right there, and that's at the point -2, -4. Alright, 2 systems down, 2 to go, and then independent practice for the rest of the class. So these ones are a little bit more challenging. I see that we have one equation that looks normal, and then this one that is not normal. And we talked about this one right before our summative this last week. So let's go ahead and start with this one that looks normal. So we have starting at 4 and then 1/2. So up 1 over 2. Draw a line. Okay. For this one, since it looks a little different, we're going to need to fix it. So what's different is the fact that this is in standard form, where x's and our y's are on the same side. So in order to graph, whenever we see something like this, we need to think, get y by itself. It should send alarms off in your head and say, this does not look like a graphing equation. I need x plus a number. So we need to move this x to the other side. I have -x, so we're adding x to both sides. We get y equals 3 plus x. Now we can see our equation. Our slope is that number without the x. So up here it was +4. The number without the x here is 3. So we're going to start at 3. And then again, there's 1x here, which is 1x. So my slope is 1. So I'm going to go up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. And there's where they cross. And that's at the point 2, 5. So we say the solution is 2, 5. Okay, use this one and try to help you get this one done. We have -1/3 x plus 8. So graph this first line. Remember, -1 means down 1. And then for this one, move that x to the other side and then graph that line. And then come back when you're ready to check your answer. Alright, let's do it to it. So we're starting at 8 and then down 1 over 3. And there's our graph. Okay, now let's do this one. So again, that doesn't look right. My x and y are on the same side. I need to solve for y. I move this x, it's a -x, so we do the opposite, a positive x to both sides. We get y equals 4 plus x. starting value for 1x. There's a 1x here, so my slope is 1. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. There's where they cross. Alright, and that is at the point 3, 7. Alright, there we are. 4 problems done together. If you need anything and you want to try a few more, let me know. But with that being said, I want you to move on to the independent practice. And then you do have the answer key to check your work and see if you've done them correctly. So work on your independent practice now. If you want me to do some with you, just let me know. And then check your answers as you go on the answer key to see how you're doing. All right, message me when you're finished. Have a lovely day.